Hello, everyone, and welcome to my YouTube channel. This question is, how do you hold the connection with spirit? And it was asked to me through one of the people on this YouTube channel who wanted to know, how do you hold that connection with spirit? So what happens when we connect to the spirit world? We've raised our energy, we've connected to them, and sometimes we get within the connection, we get the feeling we've lost the connection with the spirit world. So whenever we get the feeling that we've lost that connection with the spirit world, we just need to take the time to remember the strongest connection. Before I go into regaining the connection, when you have a strong connection with the spirit world, you can feel it. You can feel it coming through. You're in the flow. It's all working. The reasons that you can lose the connection with the spirit world is when your mind comes in. And when your mind comes in, you start thinking, I got to know what went wrong. So the moment you start to think with your mental mind, you get the feeling you lose connection, when really you're not losing connection at all. You're just in your mind. So the best thing to do is to shift your awareness to your feelings. And when you shift your awareness to your feelings and how you feel about the connection, it brings you out of your mind. So the person asked me this question. They said, do you have to actually actively hold the connection? Well, yes, you do. You can't just sit there with a connection with the spirit world and thinking, oh, it's all going to go work on its own. There has to be some sort of excitement within you that really wants to know what the spirit world have got to say. So now we'll move into when you've lost that connection. So you're either in your mind. If you're in your mind, shift to your emotions, shift then to what do you feel with the spirit world. That will regain the connection. Now, another way is to start using your breathing. Now, I normally use the breath and imagine my light inside of me connecting to the spirit world. So when I use a few breaths just to connect, I can feel, I feel like I've got a strong connection. Now, if I'm doing my mediumship, just like you guys, and I feel that the connection's got lost, or it's got gentle, or it's not quite as strong as I'd like it, I then go back to my light and take a few breaths and just breathe my light back up to reconnect with the spirit world and feel that strong connection. That's one way of doing it. Another way of doing it is to remember how strong the connection was with the spirit world. So you're using your consciousness to remember, how strong was it when you first felt it? How strong was that first moment when they started giving you the information? And in remembering, it brings you back to that frequency and brings you back to that feeling of, oh, I've still got the connection. Now, you can use this by remembering also, what was the last strongest bit of evidence that I gave? So if you said that last strongest bit was the guy worked with his hands and he did bricklaying, and that's what you got a yes on, and then you went and said something else and you got a no on it, and you feel, oh, I've lost the connection. You go back to the bricklaying and say, okay, yeah, if I felt, and then you can feel the bricks in your hands, you can see him doing the bricklaying, and you'll be like, that was the last strongest bit of evidence. And that normally brings you back in consciousness to that strong link with the spirit world. So if you get the feeling that you're losing it, remembering brings you back. Remembering the strongest bit of evidence that you said brings you back. Another thing that will bring you back into contact with the spirit world after losing the link is to take a drink. So you take a drink of water, normally, not tea like me, but you take a drink and you just say to people, hold on a minute, I'll just take a drink. And then you just remember and listen to what the spirit world are saying. Now, to hold the connection, I normally imagine spirit or feel spirit either on this side or on this side, and I just hold my ear to them actively, like I'm listening to them. Like I really want to know, out of the joy of my soul, what do spirit want to say? And that is the holding the active connection, because when you're holding the active connection, you're just listening for the next bit of information they're going to give you. What do they want to say? What's their story? And that's what you can do, is active listening. Just imagine if you'd just gone round for tea at somebody's house and you were talking to them, but they were just they were just sitting there not saying anything. So I like to not only actively listen, I'm like, whenever I hear something or receive something or feel something from spirit, how I become active is to go, oh, that's nice. Tell me more about that. That's really interesting. I'd like to know more about it. And that's holding the connection. Because if we were having a conversation, you and me today, you'd be, and you were just speaking and I was just sitting there listening, the conversation would fizzle out very quickly. But if I started saying, oh, that's interesting, I'd like to know more about that, you'd get excited as well and you'd tell me more information. So this is how you actively interact with the spirit world, in that active way, in compassionate way, and listening, like just holding it, and just imagine that you've got this strong link with spirit. And if you do that, if you feel that the energy ever dropping, you can either use your breath, remember that strongest bit of evidence, take a drink of water, and then listen, actively listen. So actively listening to the spirit world like they're a really good friend of yours, really listen to them. Like, I can't wait for them to tell me more. And if you're listening in that way, the spirit world will love to give you more information and to hold that connection with you. But however, when you can shift into your mind and you feel that you've lost a connection, so you go, oh, I got a no, spirit world's giving me a no, I feel that the connection's lost, and you're thinking about it. Whenever you're thinking, be aware that you're thinking, and know that when you're thinking, you're in a different consciousness that you need to be in connection with the spirit world. The spirit world is still in connection with you. You may think that they're not, but they are. They're still standing behind you. And this is what's happened with many, many students that I've been working with. And then I just say, just feel, instead of thinking, feel what the spirit world are saying. So shifting to your feelings takes you out of your mind. And when you're out of your mind, then you're more in connection with the spirit world. So that will gain you back to the connection with the spirit world. So if you're enjoying this video and you've enjoyed what I've said up until now, feel free to subscribe to my channel. This is a question that was asked from someone on YouTube, and they asked me to answer it. So that's what I do. If you've got any questions, please feel free to put these questions in the comments below, and also give this video a like if you've enjoyed it. And if you'd like to know more about mediumship, feel free to contact me. And it's nice to connect to you on YouTube or also on any other of my social media. So anyway, hold the connection to spirit. Just shortly, for the people that have just arrived, remember, use your breath, few breaths, and to visualize that you have a strong connection with spirit. Remember that last bit of evidence that you think, yes, that is it, that beautiful bit of evidence that you say that you have that connection with spirit world. Take a drink of water and then actively listen to what they want to say. Listen to them like they're one of your best friends. And then you'll see that you'll hold the connection stronger with spirit. And don't let the no's phase you. If you get a no, it could mean many things. It could mean that it's either incorrect, or it might mean some other things. It could mean that if you say this man worked with his hands and he worked in bricklaying, they say no, okay, he was a carpenter. Yes, he was. So it helps you and it guides you into what somebody did in their work. So the no's can help you. Don't let them phase you. One thing to remember is to learn very early in this is how do no's affect you? And if you can do that, you're going to stay with this connection stronger. So I hope this has helped you. Feel free to like this, like my channel, and don't feel free to look at the other videos on the channel. I'm sure you're going to enjoy them. Thank you very much. And I wish you a fantastic day. Thank you.